Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1, a tactical analysis. Before this video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you get notified when we upload a video. Also check out some of our previous uploads, including our video analysing how Diego SIMEONE is tactically reinventing Atletico Madrid and our comparison of Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial as centre forwards. Also remember to give this video a like if you enjoy it. Going into the game, Solskjaer lined up his side in a 4-2-3-1 with De Gea in goal, Lindelof and Maguire at centre back, Young at right back and Tuanzebe coming in at left back. McTominay and Pogba sat in the midfield double pivot, with Daniel James wide on the left, Pereira on the right and Lingard playing off of Marcus Rashford. Unai Emery set up his side in a 4-3-3 with Leno in goal, Socrates and Luiz at centre back, with Kolasinac and Chambers playing as the fullbacks. The midfield three consisted of Xhaka, Guendouzi and Torreira, with Pepe on the right, Saka on the left and Aubameyang playing through the middle. From the start of the game, Solskjaer's side used an aggressive trigger pressing style, which meant they would sit off Arsenal's centre-backs in a 4-4-2, but when the ball was played backwards to the centre-backs or goalkeeper, the front line would assert a high aggressive press on Arsenal. Rashford would look to close down the left-sided centre-back, whilst Lingard would sit centrally cutting off the passing lane into Xhaka, and Daniel James would push higher up the pitch from the left side to press the right-sided centre-back. This did stop Arsenal playing out from the back and instead forced them to play long aimless balls forward. When Arsenal had secured possession and United set off in their 4-4-2, McTominay and Pogba would still remain fairly high in order to push up to press the deep lying midfielder Granit Xhaka when he received the ball. This pressing style worked very well for Solskjaer as Arsenal were unable to play through their midfield and forced into long passes into the channels. In possession, United used an asymmetrical 4-2-3-1 with Pereira moving narrow on the right side into the half space, whilst Daniel James stretched the pitch on the left hand side, trying to isolate Callum Chambers in a one-on-one situation. Whilst this sort of tactic did show promise, with James dribbling at Chambers within the first 15 minutes, the youngster seemed reluctant to run at his fullback and turned to play back to his supporting midfielders too often. Arsenal defended in a 4-5-1 system with the wide players not engaging in a high press from their build-up as they did versus Watford and Tottenham, and this was probably because Emery recognised that United's attack is one-dimensional and that they can only transition the attack into the final third consistently when there is space in central midfield for Pogba to dribble into or for Rashford to drop deep into, turn and dribble with the ball. So by closing off this space wide of Guendouzi and Torreira, Emery prevented what happened to Chelsea on the opening day happening to Arsenal. The problem that the Arsenal central midfielders had in the first half was that if they moved out to press McTominay or Pogba, who were playing as a deep double pivot, then space in behind them would be created for either Lingard or Pereira to move into. Despite this, United's deep block, in particular Ashley Young and McTominay from the right side, didn't have the vision or passing ability to be able to feed balls into this space, and when United did find themselves go side of the Arsenal midfield with the ball, they failed to create much and often went for the easy option of playing the ball out wide or backwards. Arsenal themselves had similar problems in possession. With Xhaka being almost pressed out of the game and Ceballos not on the pitch, Arsenal lacked a player who could advance the attack from deep in midfield with either an incisive pass or a dribble. They also missed Lacazette, who would drop deep from the forward line, receive the ball with his feet and bring the midfield into play. Instead they were relying on Aubameyang or Saka to receive the ball out wide on the left and either play a quick 1-2 to move into United's box or dribble past United's defenders, which is where Pepe's chance from the edge of the box came from. In the last 5 minutes of the first half, Rashford moved over to the left and James went central, and this is where United's goal came from. James's electric pace centrally was effective when United countered from an Arsenal corner, and his ball across the box was just too heavy for Rashford, but his pass back to the edge of the box allowed McTominay to rifle it into the top corner. In the second half, United started with a more aggressive press from Arsenal's build-up, with one of the two central midfielders pushing up onto Xhaka rather than Lingard, who moved to press the right-sided centre-back, allowing Daniel James to stay wide and cut off the long pass to Chambers. There was more space in midfield as both sides committed more players forward to the press, and this did allow Rashford to receive the ball to his feet, turn and advance the attack out wide. But when United did get into these wide positions, which happened frequently, he didn't have the movement to underlap or overlap, or the quality to create anything of substance. Ceballos was brought on to play ahead of the midfield double pivot of Xhaka and Guendouzi in an attempt to get a player closer to Aubameyang, both in the press to cope with McTominay and Pogba's deep positioning, and defensively so that Arsenal could sustain attacks in the United half. Both Pogba and McTominay were very good in United's midfield, with the Frenchman being a catalyst for advancing United's attacks via his breaking up of the play, dribbling and through balls in behind the Arsenal fullbacks. McTominay also drove United forward towards the end of the game and was composed on the ball and rarely conceded possession. Mason Greenwood should have been brought on earlier, as with Rashford playing through the middle, United lacked a player who could drop deep and link the midfield and attack as Greenwood can do. Arsenal's wide players lacked energy in the last 30 minutes, which hampered the attack. Saka had a very good first half in terms of his dribbling, but tailed off towards the end of the game, whereas Pepe was poor, scuffing or blazing shots over the bar when in good positions, and not being able to create much versus Tuanzebe, who was very good positionally and in one-on-ones despite his misplaced pass for Aubameyang's goal. In the end, this was a game of two faltering attacks. United lacked the ability in the final third to create anything other than from a Daniel James dribble down the line, which has been a prominent criticism of their attack this season. And with average creators like Lingard and Pereira starting in the side, it's no surprise why. Emery used a 4-5-1 as he was cautious of the space left in midfield for players like Pogba and Rashford, and whilst this did work defensively, Arsenal lacked the cutting edge that they've had in the final third, especially without Lacazette. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.